For decades now, Decatur has wrestled with a difficult question. What happened to the thriving black community known as Beacon Hill? The neighborhood included what we now know as downtown Decatur.
And the Reparations Task Force will now examine the city's legacy of displacement and discrimination and its impact today. 11 Alive's race, culture, and religion reporter Danielle Nottingham is taking a closer look tonight.
Wanda Sims Waters remembers growing up with her 7 siblings in Beacon Hill during the 60s and 70s. Back then, it was known as the Bottom.
So you would say that this was a thriving community?
Very thriving, very much so. I mean, we had businesses, we had our own grocery stores, our cafes, our cab companies.
Well, the reason they call it the Bottom is because they were on a low-lying plain, and so many black communities that started after the Civil War and kind of the first neighborhoods of the freed people, they had to find the land that they were allowed to be in.
Raina Wheeler studies gentrification and the communities that disappear as a result. Wheeler says as Beacon Hill grew more desirable, families faced redlining and intimidation, forcing many like Wanda's to leave.
We were told to stay in the house all weekend, that they were coming to rally. And it was very frightening. And we didn't, at that age, I didn't know a lot about the KKK, but I knew a lot to be afraid of the KKK.
Now, a reparations task force will decide how to compensate displaced families.
I think everyone wants to get the check in the mail. Just give me my money. Give me what I was lost, what I am due. So if my land was taken from me, what would that land have been worth today if it was still mine?
It comes full circle for Wanda, who is now on the task force.
Well, that is a great feeling, just to contribute that. Okay, not then we didn't know how much we were being mistreated, or we didn't know to the extent of what the mistreatment will cost later, like generational wealth, or like the property where my parents lived. And the small amount we got when we were told to move that they paid us wasn't enough to do anything for. But today's time in Decatur, it's very valuable property, but we don't own it.
Wanda says she looks forward to healing the community. Danielle Nottingham, 11 Alive News.
The task force will give annual updates and expects to complete its work within the next 3 years.